I'm going to go with Albert Wesker.
Okay.
I just... Yeah. Balder, for all of, like, how cool Balder is as a villain, he is basically just, it's a god. Every time you fight him, he's immortal, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Wesker, like, he's in the series. He may not be, like, a character in the series. He's always mentioned. He's always doing something. His motivations, is like, you see him in 1, then you realize he's not so Starsy after all, and then in like 2, 3 he's not there. He's always pulling the strings and like what's going on in the background. And obviously his story arc kind of comes to a head in 5, and he has some of the coldest lines, I think,
what
throughout.
series is this? Sorry,
Resident Evil.
I should have known. Sorry. Carry on. Good to know.
Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 136 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that's going to try to justify some villains. I'm your host as always, Mr. Luvva Luvva, and with me are my co-hosts.
Hi, Luvva. How are you doing? It's Cardinal Smith here. Great to see you.
I'm doing very well, Cardinal. It's very nice to see you. I thought you had gone. I thought you had just quiet quit. Is that what it's called? Is that what the kids are called?
Just an Irish goodbye.
Quiet
that was
quit.
it.
Quiet quit is when you just stop going to work, and when you do go to work, you just stop trying, which is kind of what you did at the end of season 5, to be quite honest. Judging on
I've been doing that for about 10 years.
There was a moment there where I was sitting there going, it's like, do I now get to go second, or am I going to be normal service resumed? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Sorry, Vince, I'm back.
But it is me, last as always, Tomahawk. How are we, guys? Good to be back as a 3 as well.
It is. Cardinal's finally decided to pull his finger out and get onto your record. It's good to see it. I love to see it, Cardinal. But anyway.
GG's, fam. GG's.
Anyway, the 3 of us, for the first time in what feels like a very, very, very long time. I can't remember the last time all 3 of us were here.
It's been a literal matter of weeks. Far too long to remember.
Was it the finale?
It was literally the season 5 finale, yeah.
Good
so
Lord.
we're talking, we've only been he's only missed 2 Game of the Month, so he's only missed like 5 episodes in between. We're missing
and
about
you guys just play decent games and we'll get involved. Come on. Better Game of the Month here. What was the last one? Who knows?
Cardinal doesn't want to play with us unless it's good stuff, unless it's a Final Fantasy Online MMO.
We'll get to that into what you're playing. That's what we'll get to this topic. Anyway.
Can't wait. Anyway, let's talk about what we're going to be talking about tonight, gentlemen. The topic of the week is our favourite PlayStation antagonists. We're going to be talking about
baddies.
The baddies. Because why not?
Talk about them.
No, people just forget that they even exist, and they are the literal driving force behind every single game we play. So it's time that antagonists got their moment in the sun. They got their flowers, and that's exactly what we're going to do tonight, gentlemen. Before we get into all that, we have to do some housekeeping, though. Let's tell everyone, especially new listeners, who we are and what we do. We are the internet's only competitive PlayStation podcast, where myself, Cardinal Smith, and Tomahawk compete against one another in a league table of PlayStation gaming challenges. Every week we pick a game and we play a challenge in that game. Winner gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point. At the end of our 12-week season, whoever is top of the league wins the coveted High Scores, High Stakes Cup. When we're not in season, we are running our side quest, which is what this is, where we talk all things PlayStation, all things gaming. Every Monday of the month, the last Monday of every month, is our Game of the Month, where we pick a game, deep dive, review it. This month's Game of the Month is Cyberpunk 2077.
That's right.
And if 1 hour or so of High Scores, High Stakes isn't enough to fill your week, make sure you visit highscoreshighstakes.com. There you'll find a load of articles and a load of things to read and fill your time with. And with the housekeeping now out of the way, Tomahawk,
correctly,
the time has come for Cardinal's favourite and least favourite part of the podcast.
Oh, come on. Pressure time. Let's go.
When I ask the question, what are you playing?
That's right. It's the time when I frantically trying to remember, and then open myself up to abuse from you two absolute wallies. So let me give it to you.
honestly.
Standard, like, and I mean, 8 weeks of gaming here to catch us up on now, so don't disappoint.
Well, let me tell you, apart from playing Bluey the video game and its recent war update with the added characters of Muffin and the Uncle.
The Soulsborne DLC for Bluey, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's a Gran Turismo DLC coming out. A paid DLC for Gran Turismo 7. Anyway, I've been playing Final Fantasy 6.
Wow.
Which, originally in the Super Nintendo, the 1994 game, which has released on the Pixel Remaster. I've never played it properly, so I'm giving it a go. I'm going through them all. Hello, folks. I hate myself.
Cardinal Smith's Final Fantasy spin-off series is coming soon, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But I met Kefka. Hello. He laughs funny.
He does. He's a good bot. He's a good enemy. He is a really good antagonist.
A good antagonist, you might say.
Some would say that. I just did. He's really good. He's right upper in the upper echelons of Final Fantasy enemies. 100%. 100%.
I've played other games. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't want to say did any more abuse.
I love this. You never let us down, Cardinal. Welcome back.
If nothing, he's consistent. Not with turning up for records, but playing Final Fantasy.
It's a Final Fantasy game at least anyway, so he's true to form, if nothing else.
Tomahawk, what have you been playing, mate?
I'm not going to bore everybody with the constant playing of DBD and Phasmophobia because that's just consuming my life. Now that Nell's Diner's out in 2v8 on DBD, we're in the midst of that at least.
What are you saying? What are you saying? Like, I don't know what you've just said. Like you're playing DBD and Smellsborne, Nell's Diner. What? Speak English, man.
Phasmophobia released a new map, Nell's Diner. It's an American diner map. It's the same size roughly as what Tanglewood, and it is incredible. Just
okay.
So many things to interact with. Just so many new bits and new things to play with in the map.
He loves new bits.
Smashed it out of the park. They have.
Smashing new bits.
And the Easter egg in it is great as well. But I've also been playing a little top-down survival horror, like harken to the olden days. Conscript. It's something on PlayStation Plus. It's basically you play a French soldier during the Battle of Verdun, and it's like a survival horror type war movie, resource hunting, a lot of locked doors, a lot of fog of war, that kind of stuff. It's in a cool kind of old-timey graphics, that kind of crude pixely but slightly realistic looking tone to it. Now, I've only played it for about an hour, and the combat's a bit jank, but I think that's kind of what the point is that those games are not meant to be perfect. But I'm trying to think when the horror part's going to kick in, but the kind of World War One thing is very harrowing and very, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when the enemies are going to kind of throw themselves over the trenches at you, and all you have is a shovel to fight them back. Like, so nothing too major. I figured try something small and indie in the midst of all my other major games.
Yeah. Have you ever stopped to consider that maybe the war is the true horror?
That could be it. It could be the game could be a metaphor the whole time. Like, I'm just waiting for something to happen. Like it's like
he's going through this harrowing battle and like World War One trenches. He's got a shovel. He's trying to survive, and he's getting like PTSD.
I'm expecting bloody zombies to show up at some point. Yeah, it's like, when does the actual horror start? I'm like, maybe the war was the horror all along. Maybe the horror was the friends. The horror was the friends we made along the way. Yeah. So I'm keen to see where that goes, whether or not it is just going to be a war game, or is it going to have like a Silent Hill type twist to it, or whatever. Like, so it was on PlayStation Plus. It cost me nothing to set up. Like,
yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I think it was only released like last year, and it's the same kind of like save feature of like you collect your ink ribbons and you have to save at your typewriters at like safe zones in the trenches. So it's early doors on it, but it looks pretty good.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds interesting. So it does. Conscript. Give it a wee look. Sounds like it might be decent. Anyway.
Throw it back. Throw it back to Luvva. Throw it back to Luvva.
No. Yeah, Luvva can close the segment. I don't really care.
No.
To be honest.
What are you playing, Luvva?
This is the passion I've missed. Tom just doesn't bring this type of fire, Cardinal. You do.
I don't bring it full circle anymore. Just like, I guess Luvva can play games
Put him
too.
on the spot. Come on.
Speaking of fire, by the way, I have been playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and that
Mamma
game
mia.
is
Oh, wow.
absolutely fire.
Yeah, the 2
Hello.
o'clock in the morning messages of, you know what, I can't stop thinking about this game. And I'm like, I'm trying to sleep, Luvva. So, you know, now I have to think about this game.
Well, you didn't even reply, so I thought that was
No, I
kind of
didn't.
rude. Do you know what's not rude, though? Your party members in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It is incredible.
Unbelievable. I
It
can't
is
believe he
incredible.
did it. I can't believe he pulled the trigger on this one as well. I just thought, like, it wasn't. I thought it was going to be a game that just passes you by and you just go, whatever, I'll pick it up eventually. I'm surprised you have got it within the 2025 window.
Yeah, not a game I would usually play. Not my type of game at all. Like a Japanese RPG style game. And do you want to know what? The battle system in Claire Obscure is one of the best battle systems I have ever played in any RPG ever. It is incredible. Every character in this game has a completely different battle style. Now I know what you're thinking, Cardinal. All characters like that. Some are tanks and some are mages. Yes, this is also true of Claire Obscure. However, because the battles are way more active, where you have to like dodge or parry or jump and then riposte, and there's a character in this game who fights using tarot cards, and it's just so incredibly deep. There's so much strategy. You have all these skills that you can mix and match between to give you various buffs or debuffs and give you stat boosts and all this here business. And you can just mix and match your whole team and just make your team synergy, just sort of link up. It's kind of like fantasy, you know, is it Ultimate Team in FIFA where you have to build up like team synergy and things like that?
Yeah, like
It's
their
really
stats and stuff
good.
have to coexist with each other in certain ways, and your team's rating go up or whatever. But that's cool. That's really interesting. I have a major question for you in terms of Claire Obscure then.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Cox or Ben Starr?
I haven't met Ben Starr's character yet. I have been playing this game for, I think, 12 hours.
All right, okay.
And I'm still in Act 1. I haven't met Verso yet, who I believe is Ben Starr's character. But no, it's funny you're saying about Ben Starr, though. See, the story in this game is exceptionally well written and exceptionally well told. It is kind of From Software-ish, where you have cutscenes, don't get me wrong, but the majority of the story is told to you like in a non-direct way.
Oh, like in the world that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And little things that the characters say, and a lot of times your character won't respond to other people, and that says a lot about the game. The game's incredible. It just builds mystery upon mystery upon mystery. I am loving every second of it. I've hit a bit of a spike in difficulty. I've just entered a new area, and I'm clearly like all my characters are like level 18, but I'm being annihilated in 2 hits in these battles. And because it's so active, it's not like Final Fantasy or whatever, where you can just set your team and hope that they miss. The only time the enemies miss is when you block or dodge or jump.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be on it all the time. It's fantastic. It's utterly fantastic.
And is there like an RNG element of like if you can crit or whatever that kind of way? Or is it okay?
Yeah, of course there is. Yeah. But you're sort of all your wee passive buffs that you pick up, they can sort of increase your ability to, your percentage chance of getting a critical hit. Or there's a skill in it called luck, and luck builds up your defense slightly and then builds up your critical hit chance as well. It's just it's an exceptional game. It's an exceptional game. I'm glad. I'll put it this way, without spoiling the end of the year. I'm glad I played it this year.
See, Cardinal, this is how you like plug an RPG to us.
But this is the thing. We shouldn't be pigeonholing ourselves in, I only play FIFA and Bloodborne, like Tomahawk here. Or I only, love it, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're just great games.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to play Expedition 33. It sounds awesome.
It's on my wish list now. I'm probably going to pick it up towards the end of the year.
I'm just surprised Luvva pulled the trigger to buy it because he also just bought Astrobot.
I did, yeah. I've also been playing Astrobot. And I wish I played it last year because it would have been my game of the year last year. It's incredible. It's so good.
Look at us buying new games and playing new games. Like,
You're right.
Crazy. Who is this man?
Astrobot is like fiendishly hard. It is a difficult game. There's like these levels that appear like the PlayStation symbols, and they bring you into like, best way I could describe it is the void levels from Super Mario Sunshine. Some of them are really hard.
There's no save points or like checkpoints in those levels.
No.
no.
One of them is like ice. Every platform is ice. And then there's one where it's glass, and once you step on it or hover over it, it breaks away from under you, and you have to keep on moving while enemies spit fireballs at you. It's a great game too. It's a great game. It is. I'm glad I bought both of them. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. But let's have enough chat about the games that we've been playing, and let's talk about the great antagonists in games that we have played. So let's...
Sounds good.
Yeah. Strong idea.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk about... we've decided on 3, like we always do. 3 great antagonists in PlayStation games. Now, I don't know how you guys have thought about this. There's many ways of thinking about this. You can think about the motivations of the bosses or why they're doing what they're doing. You can think about the bosses on a gameplay mechanical level, or you can just pick a boss that looks really cool. These are our own personal choices of who we think are really, really, really good video game antagonists. So the question is, because he hasn't recorded in a while, I'm going to throw the mic to Cardinal. Cardinal, who is your first pick as a great PlayStation antagonist, and why?
Thanks, Luvva. I have to go for the biggest, the strongest, the most iconic antagonist for me on any PlayStation game, right at the start, because I'm obviously going to pick Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, yeah.
Incredible.
He is one of the ultimate RPG villains. He's very charismatic. He's extremely powerful. He tries to end all existence on a planet just for his own gain. And he's got some fantastic theme music too.
I'm glad.
The music associated with Sephiroth is always just, especially because I've haven't played the remake and tempted to get Rebirth. Just FYI, Cardinal. His music's so good.
It just gets better. It hasn't even got there yet, but my goodness. But essentially, it took me a long time to actually beat Final Fantasy VII, which is to beat Sephiroth, because throughout the game, he is the main bad guy. He's always there as the antagonist. And in the original, he's just spoken of as this bad guy. And you get glimpses of the damage he could do and the horrors he's done before. And you're like, how can I ever beat this guy? And that's fantastic. The remakes don't give you that as much because he's always in your face. Almost.
He's so present.
Yeah. But no, he's just so fantastic. And I think that drove Final Fantasy as a series and its sales.
Yes.
Because of his success as an antagonist.
They continuously tried to recapture that magic that they got with Sephiroth, especially in 8 and 10 to an extent, where they tried to just make the coolest antagonist ever and never really succeeded. What I like the most about Sephiroth, though, is he looks super cool. Let's just be frank here. For a JRPG character, he is really distinctive looking and he looks cool as all heck. But his backstory, gets drip fed to you throughout the original 3 discs, so you get little glimpses of why he did what he has done. And it is a great piece of storytelling. You can kind of not understand what he's done, but it does a really good job of explaining and justifying why he is the way he is, and it's great. I don't know how much Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does it, but it's one thing I thought that Final Fantasy Remake was really missing, is it told you far too much far too soon about him, in my opinion.
It certainly did, and up until the end of Rebirth, I think it is a little less so. But in the original OG versions, you talked about drip feeding the backstory of Sephiroth and why he is the way he is. Some of those were optional scenes that you could
Yeah.
find that you could only see by going out of your way to go get them.
Oh, really? Yeah.
One was his birth and story of his mother was hidden in a cave that he
Yeah.
didn't have to visit. Anyway, so, but besides that, big guy, trench coat, long hair, has a big long sword called Matsuni. That's my first pick.
Yeah, it's
Sephiroth.
that profile, it's that silhouette that I always see. It's just the big spread wing and the katana. The katana just is like the width of like 3 people. Like,
Yeah.
it's so big. It's so good. Like, even that boss fight, we'll call it, and at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, he's just such a presence. He's so good the whole way through it. Like,
Yeah.
But
He is.
that aside,
Great.
I want to know who's next. Who's joining this list?
Yeah, go on ahead, Tomahawk.
ooh, okay. So I'm gonna take. So he's not so much the main antagonist in this game in particular. He does kind of just appear at the start of like Act 3. It is going to be an antagonist from The Last of Us,
Okay.
and I am going to pick David
Okay.
for my
What
first
a
pick.
great pick.
And it was really when I started getting properly into the research of this one that, like, his introduction, Cardinal won't know this, but anyone who's played The Last of Us will know his introduction is so innocuous, and it is just kind of like you playing as Ellie, you're scavenging, you're surviving in the snow, and you basically meet him over a deer carcass, and you trade supplies for half the deer. And he's basically just in as like the second play, or the NPC that kind of guides you through, like helps you like lift boxes or pushes you up into different areas and stuff. And then there's a moment in the game during the cutscene, and he starts to allude to like those little bits that have happened previously in the game. You've been fighting marauders, you've been fighting through these areas, killing all these guys, and next thing you know, he goes, and we've been hunting a little girl just like yourself and a man who has been traveling with this girl. And then the penny drops, and you're like, this man is a little bit on the evil side here.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. It would be an understatement now. And then just it spirals so quickly from this like calming presence to this. He stays calm the whole way through, don't get me wrong, until like that last moment in the game.
Yeah.
But, man, what a presence. And just something that The Last of Us didn't have really until that point. You had all your droves of infected, you had like your big infecteds until this point, but this is the first time that you had a real human threat, and I think that just needs a big shout out. Like, and it just came out of nowhere. Like, we got the cold opening of Last of Us at the start, and then this just kind of threw everybody, if threw me particularly.
Oh yeah,
when it first came out,
I think it threw everybody. It is a real oh no moment, just because you
because
realize
he's not just shoehorned in as well. He's fully like gives you everything that you've done in all these like camps that you've cleared out. It's like he's actually led them at one stage or another, so it's not just these random encounters. Like, it actually all tied in really well. And just Nolan North, man.
I was gonna say Nolan North did a great job of him. He's like the
so
creepiest
different
man. He's the creepiest man, and his boss fight's really good. Now, I've always complained about Naughty Dog not being particularly good with boss fights, but the David fight in that game is pretty great.
Yeah,
so
it was really good. Like, he's such a calm presence, even when he has Ellie like captive and stuff, and then you find out that he's a cannibal and all this kind of stuff going on, and I'm just like, it's the stuff that's like it's not the stuff that he does, it's the stuff that you find out escaping him, that you find out that this man is just an evil being. Like, and it was so well done, and Naughty Dog just absolutely smashed it out of the park with this guy.
Yeah, he just embodies everything wrong with human beings. Yeah, it's a really nice package, and it's just like, I hate that man, and killing him is so satisfying. What a great villain. Yeah, I suppose it's my turn to pick then, isn't it? So I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick from a game that I've talked about a couple of times on this podcast. It's a great game. I'm going to go with Colossus number 16 from Shadow of the Colossus. And this Colossus is called Malice. And he is the final Colossus you will fight in the game. Now, for me to explain why I think this one's so good, I kind of have to delve into the plot of Shadow of the Colossus. So if you don't want to hear that, then skip forward a minute or two because it's pretty spoilerific.
At this point, if they haven't played it, like
I know, right? But I still feel
you might hear Luvva talk about this and think, "Wow, that sounds like the game of me. I want to smash Colossus 16's face in."
I mean, I think it does. I think it does sell the game. So for those who haven't played Shadow of the Colossus, you play Wander, a little boy whose girlfriend has died, and he brings her to the altar of resurrection in the hope that she will be resurrected. And to his good luck, he gets told to kill the Colossus and she will be resurrected for him. So that is what he does. He goes out on a quest to kill all 16 of the Colossus. What he doesn't realize until the end of the game is these Colossus are not enemies. So have you two ever played Shadow of the Colossus?
it's been a long time now, to be fair, but
Yeah, but I never completed it. I didn't.
oh, me neither.
Remember anything about it? But
Yeah, none of the Colossus will attack you on sight. Not one of them. They only attack you when you attack them. That's when they become aggroed. So each one of these Colossus, so the Colossus are essentially guardians of this world. And within each of them is 1/16 of the spirit of a demon who has vowed to destroy this world. You're unaware of that as you play. So as you kill these things, you are releasing 1/16 of the soul. By the time you get to Malice, so Malice is like a mountain. He cannot move, and he's on a really high plateau above the whole of the Forgotten Lands. And when you get up to him, he is the only Colossus who will attack you on sight. He will just lob like homing fireballs at you that do tons and tons and tons of damage. And it's your job just to run around and avoid these things and then climb them. Once you get to him, he becomes completely passive. He holds you in his hand and looks at you, and you climb it, and he effectively just allows you to kill him. But when you get on top of his head, the camera pans around and you can see the entire world out in front of you. And every time you kill a Colossus and bring it to the temple, it shoots like a beam of light into the air. And the reason he attacked you was because he could see all 15 of the pieces of the soul have been brought back to the temple. And I really like this just because the emotional weight the game puts onto it, because your final boss should be like a moment of triumph for gamers. That's what we play games for. You know, yeah, I finally did it. But the fact that this final boss doesn't fight you once you get into close proximity to him, and then
you just accepts the fate nearly.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. He's killed everyone else. I'm going to die, and just allows you to do it. And there's like his music for it is beautiful. And then when the game comes to this conclusion that I won't spoil, it robs you of any sort of triumph you could ever imagine. And it's just for sheer emotional impact. This is a game, 2004, and I can still remember the first time I beat Shadow of the Colossus. Because of that moment when you're like, look what I've done. And then when the game ends, you're like, what have I done? And for just sheer emotional impact, just pure non-direct storytelling, it's just an incredible boss. And it looks incredible in the remake.
All right. It's on like the classics catalog, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
So it's well worth. I would say it's well worth picking up. It's one that I remember playing when it first came out, and then just kind of maybe not getting it in my young years, but very familiar.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Thank you for bringing us along on that journey with you, Luvva.
That was great storytelling.
It's just
good
a
old Malice.
Great boss. Malice. What a game. What a game. Right, so that is round one over, if I could talk. Sephiroth Cardinal, wasn't that your pick?
Yes.
Yours, Tomahawk, was David from The Last of Us.
From The Last of Us.
And mine was Colossus number 16, Malice from
I'd
Shadow
even
of the
argue just
Colossus.
like David is such an innocuous name. It's like a man called David's not going to do you any harm as well. That was
Well,
the weight of that is like, oh, David's a pretty normal guy. David, I trust him with my kids.
David, give me penicillin. He's grand. No, he's not. But yeah, so we'll take a wee quick break here and then we'll get back in for round 2. Okay, Cardinal. Round 2. The time has come. Who is going to step up onto the podium with Sephiroth, mate?
Let me tell you, we're going into one of my other favorite game series, Metal Gear universe.
Ooh.
And I'm going to pick, because Delta just released, I'm going to pick for the original Snake Eater, because I haven't played Delta, and pick simply the main antagonist, the boss.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Tidy.
All right. Because the boss is on your side. The boss is like your mentor. The boss is fantastic. It's also a female antagonist in a like an action game that or like stealth action game where that's unusual. Certainly back then, but it's like an anti-hero villain motivations about mixed loyalty and getting the main character to question who you are and what your motivation or loyalty lies. And it's just great, and also it's a lovely end fighting scene.
It
amongst
is,
the
yeah.
flowers and the petals.
It's such a good final boss as well. But like, yeah, as you say, the boss, she's like constantly, even at the very start, she kind of makes Snake question the role of a soldier.
She doesn't even make Snake question his role as a soldier. He takes Snake out and breaks his arm or something, doesn't he? Or
No,
is that,
it's like it's all
when
the
he falls.
codec. It's all in like the codec messages and stuff as well. It's like she's like, "Why are you soldiers?" Like, "Because I like to serve my country." And he's like, she's just like the battlefield metaphor. And then she's always just like, "No, like you fight for yourself. You fight for like your own beliefs, not the beliefs of who's in government and what their motivations are." So she's always like putting the seed of doubt in Snake anyway. The player doesn't really realize this until it's too late, and she just CQCs you off a bridge. Like, but
yeah. After doing cool lightning stuff.
But she's like a main antagonist that like isn't out to kill the player at every opportunity that you meet them, because it's always she finds ways to help you and get you to the point of the end game as well without taking you out. Like her end game isn't to take you out in the middle of the game or kill you at any point. It's to take Snake on this narrative journey as to why she needs to die, which I think is quite cool.
And it's not, again, in a similar theme to Sephiroth, there's this image of, or projection of, how am I able to overcome the power and ability and skill of this, person? Because she, as you say, she's CQC me off a bridge. Sephiroth slashes a giant serpent in front of you, and then you have to overcome that. So, character growth and all that. But
yeah, it's a good one. And the worst part is Snake can't even jump. So she can. She jumps in the bridge at the start of the game. So you're instantly over, like, outpowered her.
You're already OP.
Yeah, exactly. How are you going to compete with that?
You can't. Jumping beats all. Right. So the boss. Tomahawk. What's your second pick?
I had a second pick here. I had originally Baldur from God of War 2018. But I think I'm going to pivot on this one now. And I think I'm going to change it to someone who's a little bit more well established, we'll say. I'm going to go with Albert Wesker.
Okay.
I just Baldur, for all of like how cool Baldur is as a villain, he is basically just, it's a god. Every time you fight him, he's immortal, blah blah blah. Whereas Wesker, like, he's in the series. He may not be like a character in the series. He's always mentioned. He's always doing something. His motivations is like, you see him in one, then you realize he's not so Starsy after all. And then in like 2, 3, he's not there. He's always pulling the strings and like what's going on in the background. And then obviously his story arc kind of comes to a head in 5, and he has some of the coldest lines, I think, throughout.
What series is this? Sorry.
Resident Evil.
I should have known. Sorry. Carry on. Good to know.
Plus, he's one of the very few characters who never ever goes through like a costume change throughout his entire appearance in the franchise. It's always the trench coat
Nice.
and the song and the red lensed glasses.
Antagonists and trench coats. There's a
Yeah.
theme.
There is. And
do you know what? The boss had a trench coat at the start too.
She
of
did.
Snake Eater.
She did.
Here,
But-
we're on to something here. PlayStation.
I don't think David wore a trench coat though.
No,
but I may have
he
to
definitely
double
didn't.
check that.
I can tell you right now, Malice did not have a trench coat. There's no trench coat in the planet that big.
But yeah, there's something about like Wesker always pulling the strings, even though he's not like central in the plot. He always has a stake in it, and I think just evil, constantly evil. Is it? What's the line he has in Resi 5? It's like 7 minutes is all I have to play.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so good. He's just some cold lines in his catalog.
He's pure pantomime, and I love it.
Yeah.
He is a pantomime villain. He is just evil for the sake of being evil. So
Because you get all the other like RE villains who are like, oh, I'm just doing this for money, or I'm just doing this to like sell on the viruses and stuff. He just is there for the chaos.
I mean, yeah,
He's also there to make a bit of money, like, but
he starts off Resident Evil 1. He's looking combat data so he can sell the virus. That's his game in Resident Evil 1. And then Resident Evil Code Veronica, he's just evil now. He wants the Code Veronica virus. He's just evil, and he has like superpowers now because he had to use the T virus in order to save his life after Resident Evil 1. And then Resident Evil 5, he's just maniacal, cackling, string
when
puller
he's
from
got
the
like
background.
the Ouroboros like vibe, and he's like stopping missiles and stuff like that as well. I will say his like transformation at the end of 5 is a bit. I was kind of hoping just to fight straight up Wesker, and when you kind of don't do that, you're a bit shortchanged, really. But yeah, he's just. I think it's his voice acting, it's his line delivery, that pantomime villain, as you say, throughout, and just a little bit more iconic than Baldur, I would say. So he's sitting in
any protagonist or any antagonist that requires you to dunk him in a volcano.
Yeah,
it is pretty iconic in my opinion.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah,
Right.
I'm on board.
Right. Which brings me on nicely to my next villain. And my
there's
next
a volcano.
Yes, there is a volcano involved in this. People might know who I'm going to pick. My next iconic PlayStation villain is, of course, Heihachi from Tekken, the original bad dad. This is a man who raised his child to be the best martial artist on the planet. And when he was, I think it's 7, he offers him a spar. And when Heihachi beats up a 7-year-old, he's like, "You're not good enough," and throws him down a mountain.
Throws him off the mountain, that's right.
And then he climbs up the mountain and trains and decides to take on his dad in the first Iron Fist tournament, King of the Iron Fist tournament. And at the end, if you are Kazuya and you beat the game, you throw Heihachi into a volcano. But if you unlock Heihachi and beat Kazuya in the final, then he throws him into a volcano. He's just the original bad dad. He's just an evil man. And it went from I am a bad dad to I am now CEO of the Mishima Corporation and I am intent in world domination and you will allow this to happen. He is just, he's like Wesker. He's just like so over the top evil. It is incredible.
I just no longer became like bad dad. It just escalates and nobody seems to know why.
CEO of a megacorp. It's incredible.
CEOs.
I mean, that is character development and character growth. You know, he does have moments of retribution throughout the franchise as well, you know, where he trains up Jin in order to be more powerful than Kazuya, you know, and then there's the whole devil element of it where he was training him up to be strong to resist the devil gene so that they didn't destroy the world and all his hair business. He has these moments of redemption. He's also come back from the dead about 4 times. Like, that's pretty iconic in my opinion. Heihachi is a great villain. A great villain. And the iconic look of the 2 lightning bolt puffs of hair on either side of his head and the platform sandals, like, iconic.
The lore of Tekken just confuses. I just remember it being a fighting game back in the day, and now like there's lore to remember.
There was always lore.
I know there's always lore, but like I was a child playing Tekken at this time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, no one cared about the lore.
I'm having to like retcon a lot of this lore like 25 years later, and it doesn't make any sense to me now.
I don't know.
There's so
It's
much
interesting
lore.
in retrospect.
Yeah,
There's so much lore that got retconned in Tekken 7. They pretty much retconned everything from Tekken 5 and 6.
Oh, good. I don't have to worry about 5 and 6 then.
But
that's great. But that's a great shout, actually. To be fair, I mean, bad dad turned mega CEO.
Yeah,
Probably still a bad dad.
I mean, yeah, bad dad, bad granddad.
But
Just
it's
a
that
bad person.
iconic. It's the big tufts of hair, the mustache, and the sort of the gi and the cloggy kind of sandals. Isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, he makes no sense, but yet, what a dude. He stands
He's
out
instantly recognizable. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's guessed it in so many other fighting games. So he has through the years. He was in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Is that what it's called?
Oh, right. Okay.
So he was. So that is the pinnacle of anyone's career, to be in that game from Sony. So that is round 2 done.
round 2 already.
Cardinal, you picked the boss.
The boss.
Tom, you picked Wesker, and I picked Heihachi from Tekken. Which means we only have one more round. After round 3, I have a couple of like honorary mentions, but it is what it is. We'll get to round 3 just after this. All right, boys, final round. I've saved the best to last. I hope you've done the same. So, Cardinal, what is your final pick?
Let me. Sorry, I just need to get this right because you only get this kind of opportunity. Most people don't get this kind of opportunity.
No.
We're on a successful podcast here. The internet's only gaming podcast.
Yeah.
PlayStation related, definitely
It's
the only one.
big pressure, but you can
Who's
cope with
is-
rounding off your axes of evil then?
My final antagonist that I, spent a long time facing up against is someone I had to learn. I can't remember it. It's my thumb. It's the Skyrim main bad guy from 2011, Bethesda's own. It's not just the PS3 release of Skyrim. It's the actual antagonist inside the game, if you can get there. It is Alduin, who is a massive dragon that eats worlds, essentially, on a mythic scale. And you, like, when I say mythic, you're in Skyrim, it's fantasy. Okay, look, I'm learning spells. Oh, I'm going to the Ministry of Magic. Like, cool, look, shoot bow and arrow, crouch, That's all fun and games. You have to go to Valhalla to beat this mythical dragon. That's an escalation like no other. Okay, you're not like robbing coins off some trainer anymore, or like trying to run from a guard with an arrow's knee. You're in the heaven for Vikings.
Yeah. What's really funny is I watched a video quite recently of Games Done Quick, and they beat Alduin at level 1. It was quite impressive, to be honest.
Really impressive.
That is a stinking shocker of a thing to say based on me picking it as one of my great antagonists. I mean, I can't.
I mean, there's nothing more.
You've called him out as being terrible.
There's nothing more impressive though than there is nothing more impressive than a mythical dragon hellbent on destroying what effectively is the multiverse. Like,
Exactly. So there you go.
it was tough. I do remember him being very, very tough.
Hey, most people never met him because you have to go through so much of a game to get there.
I can tell you right now, I've never met him. Don't care for Skyrim. We've been here before, boys.
It's been well established. Luvva doesn't like this.
Anyway, how do you say his name? Alduin?
Alduin, Alduin.
Oh, okay. Alduin. Okay. Tomahawk. Who's your last one?
My favorite of all the antagonists has the best story arc, in my humblest opinion. It is Abby Anderson from The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
We're just going to get straight into this one because I think we talked about like cold openings. The game, Last of Us 2 starts off with Abby in the snow, and you're basically just kind of figuring out what the hell's going on here. And then you get the whole bloody who she's looking for, what her ulterior motives are, and then she just goes and hits the driving range. Like, if there's ever a way to introduce yourself as like an iconic villain, you do what you do in that game. I don't even think I want to say it because it's so spoilerific, and I think it's not fresh enough. The game's like 5 years old at this point. Like, but if you know, you know, is all I'm going to say.
Yes. See, I also had Abby as one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But then, as I was writing my notes for this episode, I asked myself the question, is she the villain?
It's weird because, like, we as the player have to execute this, like, set piece.
Yeah.
And we're forced to kind of watch it all unfold. Like, in the grand scheme of things, to a point, the game, like, Abby is our antagonist. Abby is the person
What
who
game?
we need. The Last of Us Part 2, sorry.
Oh.
I've
googled Abby Anderson as some American singer-songwriter.
I forget that Cardinal hasn't played The Last of Us beyond the first clickers you see in part 1.
The zombies. So I'm not messing around with that.
I do apologize. 99%
no,
of our
it's fine.
listeners
Everyone
will know
else
exactly what's going on.
Everyone else knows.
But like that, but that's it. Like, so we play the entire first half of The Last of Us Part 2, and it's like Abby is the bad guy. We are here. Like, her motivations for being the bad guy, we can call into question in a game of the month, possibly in 2026. Who knows? But then we get our narrative bait and switch as well. Her story arc is phenomenal, and we find out why she becomes this like hellbent rage pit effectively.
Mm-hmm.
But for that first half of the game, she's just this incredible villain. But we know the reasons why she's this incredible villain. We just then have to sit and piece together the game and piece together everything that happens in the entire second half of the game.
See, I'm not sure she is the villain of The Last of Us Part 2. I personally view Ellie as the villain.
See, I would also agree with you on that part. Like, it is a matter of perspective.
I think so too. Yeah, that's what's so good about that game.
Yeah.
Like, but like for me, like Abby's villain arc begins and ends in the ski resort at the start of the game. That's it.
Ski resort.
It's done. And then you have
effectively her mission is complete in the first like half hour of the game, I suppose. I would stand to agree with that.
Yeah, and then you have, I mean, you as the player go on a murderous rampage and take out everyone she's ever cared about, and that's what draws her back into the main game narrative. For me, Ellie is the villain of The Last of Us Part 2, not Abby. Ooh. For me,
is Ellie your third pick by any chance?
No, she isn't. No, that's what I was saying, because I have Abby written down here in my notes, and then I sort of like why I think she's a great villain, and then my last point is Ellie the villain?
Guys, this is now you've caught my attention. This is an interesting debate.
Revelation.
I want The Last of Us Part 2 Game of the Month episode. You two, let's hear it.
So
not
now. I'm willing to maybe compromise on this one then, and I'm willing to possibly
guns.
No. I'm willing to possibly put Abby/Ellie.
Yeah, I think that's right.
As a collective antagonist then in this instance.
Yeah.
Because you've made a really, really good point there about how her villain arc essentially ends at the ski resort, and it's Ellie's actions in Seattle that brings
her back.
I suppose that line, we let you live and you wasted it.
Yeah,
that kind of makes that line hit a little bit harder now, and then you're kind of Ellie or Abby's story is reactionary based on all the stuff you're hearing about what Ellie's doing in the world, which yeah, kind of sours Ellie's character arc from the first game.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to change my pick. I'm going to go Ellie/Abby for The Last of Us Part 2 for top tier antagonist.
That's good. It's a great game, Cardinal. Generally, you should play it. Get over the fear. It's not scary. Apart from one part.
Okay.
It is scary.
That bit is pretty scary as well.
Right. My last pick. Let's get out of... Is she the villain? Is she not the villain? Let's go with someone who's most definitely the villain. However, we want to keep a little bit of the grey, the ambiguity. I am, of course, talking about Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh.
And I'm talking about Solid as Snake.
Mr.
Solid
President.
Snake.
Solid as Snake. Mr. I don't like the Patriots. And you want to know what?
Brave thing to say.
I think he is morally justifiable. Not in what he does, but why he did it. I think he's a great villain. He is basically sick, sore, and tired of humanity's destiny being controlled by shadow government corporations, and he wants to remove governmental control from people so they are free to make their own decisions, and he wants to put a stop to constant state of war that the world finds it in because of shadow organizations pulling the strings in the background for their own best interests. However,
Do you know
he's a murderer.
When you
On a
say it
grand
like
scale.
that, it kind of sounds like your average Facebook thread nowadays.
But no, this guy is a genocidal maniac. I don't agree with his actions, but I can see why he thinks that he's correct in doing so. You know, near the end of the game, he talks about that he's the only one who was willing, able, and capable of making the hard decisions, and these hard decisions have to happen. The only downside to it is his plan involves killing Raiden. that was his downfall, I suppose. If he could somehow rejig that plan where he didn't have to kill everyone involved with the Patriots or involved with, the secrets,
with the big shell operation.
I think he's a really, like a lot of Kojima's games, he's a really well written villain, and I think you can apply that to pretty much every main villain of the Metal Gear Solid franchise, where you can disagree with what they've done, and in between the Kojima writing, they make a lot of sense. What they're saying,
the methodology of their end game is questionable, but their actual motivation to get there, you can understand. It's that sort of Thanos principle where it's like everything kind of needs correcting, but who's the one willing to do it?
I agree with you, but is this really the way?
Is this the way? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't remember, I remember his Solid as being like the boss of the game, and he has like the tentacles arm in his second phase. He ditches that and he becomes quicker, and he's got two swords. Swords is another thing for a good antagonist I've noticed in this thread. His boss was pretty good. It was a pretty good boss fight, and I think he has some good monologues and stuff. And as you say, he's a really, really well written character because it's a Kojima game, let's face it. But I don't. It's one of those ones I just kind of remembering what he was like. I've no like.
He just wants to bring people freedom from governments, from
he
shadow
was the
organizations.
president. I am right in saying that.
Yes,
that's okay.
I think he's a great villain. And I think he's morally justified in his beliefs. And I think it makes for a really interesting character where there is a little bit of, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I can see why you're doing it, mate. Makes for
the High Scores High Stakes podcast does not endorse political views put forward by fictional Hideo Kojima characters. We are merely a PlayStation gaming podcast.
All thoughts are our own and not of our employers.
We are not in the Lalelulelo. Just FYI.
That's what they tell us to say.
Where are the Patriots? They're all dead.
Right, let's just recap our picks for that round then. Alduin? Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Alduin.
Yeah, Tom, you picked Abby / Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2, and I picked Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 2. So now is your chances to give any honorable mentions to any bosses that should be talked about but didn't make the cut for your top 3.
Please
I want to
take
talk
it away.
about Garmin, just from
Okay.
Bloodborne, just
Yeah.
for a little bit, because he again, it's a similar way to Wesker. He's never like directly involved in everything you do until like Endgame, but Garmin kind of pulls the strings and kind of gives you these like, maybe you should go here, maybe you should go do this, and he's constantly nearly like trying to prove your worth for this final showdown. And then he obviously presents you with the choice of end the nightmare or reject the option to end the nightmare. And then when you do, you get a lovely little boss fight from Garmin. I think he's but probably what I'm thinking is, would you class him as an antagonist, or would you class him as like a narrative machine baked into the game?
That is the question. Who or what is the antagonist for the game? Some would argue that it is just the knight is the antagonist. I don't know. I think Garmin is, from my understanding of the storyline in Bloodborne,
Is this Bloodborne? Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, make this clear.
My understanding of the story
presumed it was Resident Evil.
Of Bloodborne is he is the reason you are stuck in the continuous cycle, that he has pulled you into his nightmare. His nightmare. Because there's that part of the game where you find the actual real
Hunter's Dream. Yeah. It's a funny one, because maybe I'm just like a time, because he's like endgame boss. I kind of naturally assume, we're learning to like replace him effectively.
Yeah, he's training you up.
Could argue that Yarnum effectively is the antagonist.
Yeah, or the Blight.
This is getting really layered.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone would consider him the antagonist, because he helps you throughout the story.
He like sends you on your merry quests in arbitrary quotes and comments, and
gives you.
I don't know where he pretends to be in a wheelchair the whole time. That's pretty villain behavior. When he stands up and his big scythe then just shows up. That's pretty bad guy behavior.
That is Cardinal. Any honorables?
Yeah, got a few. Let me start with the alien from the recent Astrobot game. This guy destroys any legacy and friendship made along the way, any of the other Astrobot game, ruins the PS5, takes the processor out of its heart.
He does, yeah.
And graffitis over everything, makes fun, antagonizes, bullies Astrobot and all his friends. And that's mean.
It is.
And to be honest, defeating some of the levels in that game are ridiculous. Fine. Other honorable mentions, I'd like to shout out to Gandhi from the first Civilization game.
Yeah,
incredible.
Gandhi is peaceful, and I believe the game had a code where they ranked like how aggressive they were from 1 to 10, and Gandhi's was like 1 or 2. But then if you went democratic, or how peaceful was like 10, and if you went democratic, which India wasn't at the start, then it would bump up by 3, so it was an integer. So anyway, the 3 went to the opposite end of the scale to 1, so they went nuclear. You can look it up, Nuclear Gandhi. It was the most aggressive character in the game by error. Other things, Adriano from Pro Evolution Soccer 6.
We've all been victim of Adriano, yeah.
But he's got 99 shot power, 99 strength. You can't stop him. Once he's running, he's going. Once he shoots, it's going in. You can't stop him. It's game over. And one more. Gran Turismo 4, the International A license. I mentioned this in the preamble. It's the last test. You've done so much to get here, but you are then asked to do a full lap of the long Nordschleife Nürburgring track in a car, without touching the grass once, without going too far over the curb, and also be quick, because you could complete it and be way too slow. Yeah. Ridiculous. Thank you very much.
Incredible. I have one or two. All right. The first one I want to talk about is Hades from Horizon Zero
Okay.
Dawn.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Hades the game there, and it's just like,
No.
oh, no, whoa.
No,
Hades the
computer
rogue AI, yeah.
program. Yeah. So what I like about Hades is he's right. Hades is right. The whole time he is right. Now he may be a malfunctioning, completely sentient AI, but he's right in everything.
Oh yeah, he's a malfunctioning world engine at the end of the day. Yeah.
So basically, the lore of her. Oh, he hasn't finished it yet.
Put the bloody earphones in.
He hasn't finished it yet. So
Look, I am actually playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Cover your ears. Cover your ears.
Carry on.
So his job is to terraform the planet. And his job is, if the terraforming doesn't work, to rip it down and then let her do it over and over again until it eventually succeeds. That's his job. But her second terraforming succeeds, and that's when the humans sort of come back out from under the ground, and he roguely views them as a threat to the planet and vows to destroy it because they are the biggest threat to the planet.
Becomes everything is a problem then. Yeah.
Is it a glitch? Some would say yes. I don't think so, because he's absolutely spot on. To quote Agent Smith from The Matrix, humans are a virus. Consume, and move. And he's spot on. Okay, Cardinal, let's you're good. There we go. That's a nice wee recap of the Horizon Zero Dawn story. I forgot you were playing that, Cardinal.
Unbelievable.
I must get through that.
It's so good. The villain is so good.
Awesome. I really enjoyed the game.
But yeah,
I know Tomahawk hates it, but
yeah, no, I have no problem with. I have no problem with Zero Dawn. It's Forbidden West. I had the issue with, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh yeah. I have a couple more, but I think we've talked enough villains. I think we've talked enough villains. And we want to leave space for the listeners to tell us who is their most iconic PlayStation antagonist and why. Tell us in the comments below. Tell us who is your most iconic PlayStation antagonist. We look forward to reading them. I think
the listener's 10th pick. That's it. We've left that one slot free for the listener to fulfill this.
The 10th pick. The most important pick is the pick that will start a list when read in order.
Are we going to have homework now? The three of us are going to all have to come up with our one additional pick and then pitch our tier list. Then effectively what I think we should do is take these 9 picks, get our own 10th pick, and then rank them ourselves.
It's with the people.
Yeah, could do.
Like it.
Could do. We'll do that. And think of things we are going to do in the near future. We're going to go to the wrap-up section. Let's go. And that is it, gentlemen. Another episode all wrapped up. We have picked 9 iconic PlayStation villains, but what we haven't done is tell everyone how they can best support High Scores, High Stakes. Well, if you've listened to this podcast 136 times, you already know the easiest way and best way of supporting us is by leaving us a star review, whatever podcast platform you're watching or listening to us on. 1 star to 5, what you think we're worth, that's what you give us. If you want to go one step further, give us a written review, because they feed algorithms and tell Spotify or YouTube or whatever this is worth listening to and more people should hear it. And yeah, if you want to support us, the best, easiest, and the frictionless way of doing it is by hitting that share button on the mobile device you're listening to us on and sharing our podcast with a family member or a friend who you think will enjoy it. And I think,
yes,
I don't think I've forgotten anything, have I? I think I have nothing left to say.
We are pretty good.
You know what? I forgot something. It was what was the first thumb and shout in Skyrim, and I've remembered. It's Fusro. Da!
Even I know that one. Even I know that one. But anyway, now that I've said Fo Raz Da, I have nothing left to say except happy Mr. Luvva Luvva. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Monday. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.